Hello everyone. This is Tobi from the Phuket Meditation Center, and you're listening to the Dharana Meditation Podcast. Let's sit together, calm the busy mind, and explore topics concerning character development, meditative training, and deeper self-knowledge.
So let's begin by sitting upright. Suspend the head from above. Let your body be relaxed, at ease. Take a few comfortable breaths, allowing everything to settle down. Whatever you feel at this moment, whatever is going on, give it space to be. There's nothing to get rid of. There's nothing to add on. Regard everything as being already complete. Just the way it's supposed to be. As you're breathing in, feel the entire body. Breathing out, softening, releasing. Notice how the body naturally, or by itself, relaxes a bit during the out-breath. Let the awareness of your body, as well as the softening, gradually become deeper. You can think of one breath as being one meditation session. Just being mindful with this one breath is perfectly enough. It will take some time for your mind to fully settle on the breath. Please give it that time. There's no need to rush. There is no need to force or manipulate it. It's enough to sit here, to be still, to give yourself space. The breathing is not something that we do, as well as the softening as you breathe out is not something that you do. These things are happening. So the emphasis is on observing, on knowing, on witnessing, rather than on trying, doing. Also train yourself to know where your attention is in this moment. If it goes to a sound, know that. If it goes to thoughts, know that. If it goes to sensations in the body, know that. If I hear a sound, I also know whether I'm breathing in or out. If I notice a sensation in my body, I also know whether I'm breathing in or out. And if thoughts arise and pass, I also know whether I'm breathing in or out in this moment. So there's nothing really to block out or get rid of. Just let the breath be in the foreground and everything else gradually fade into the background. Let your awareness of the breath become more and more central. Keep it simple. As you breathe in, know that you're breathing in. As you breathe out, know that you're breathing out. Just that much. Keeping the breath in mind, being mindful of the breath. No matter what arises to disrupt the attention, as soon as you notice it is thinking or feeling or hearing, at the same time look directly at the unstable nature of what you are observing. There's no need to get rid of your thoughts. They get rid of themselves. And you can observe that. There's no need to change sensations either, or sounds, as they themselves are changing. Very much alive. The more stable the mind is, the deeper you can look. The deeper you can look, the more impactful the looking becomes. Alternating between the calm of just being with your breath and knowing the things for what they are. There's nothing that we need to control or fight with, get rid of. There's just sound, there's sensation, and there's thinking. All of it is in a constant process of change. Very unstable. Train yourself to see this clearly from time to time. And stabilizing the mind more, coming back to the breath, keeping just the breath in mind. And in your own time, you can slowly come back, open your eyes, gently stretch a little bit, keeping the breath in mind. So, good morning, everyone. So since I get a lot of questions or requests asking me whether we are doing Vipassana here at this center, I thought it might be a good idea to speak a little bit about that. You might have heard this word before, Vipassana. There's, for example, the classic 10-day retreats by Zen Goenka. They are quite popular. They're all over the world. So they are very well known for doing this kind of Vipassana meditation technique. You have also, if you sometimes Google for meditation techniques, then that would be mentioned as well. Like you have Vipassana meditation, mindfulness meditation, visualization, and so on. You have these kind of lists of things that people do. So here's what I think Vipassana actually is, how it is to be cultivated, and what the results of the cultivation should be. First of all, the word is often translated as inside. I find it a little bit difficult translation, because for most people, when they hear the word inside, we think of some kind of intellectual understanding, like an aha moment. Now I finally understand, something like that. This is not what inside actually means in the context of Vipassana practice. Vipassana, actually the word really means something like clear seeing. So what we do when we practice Vipassana is we see very clearly. And so what do we see very clearly? Well, all objects that can be seen, and the Buddha has given various different classifications, the way to look at things, or what we could look at. For example, there's the 5 aggregates that you can observe as an object, or you can observe the 6 senses. You can observe the elements, for example. There's different things that you can observe. You can observe the body, you can observe the mind, you can observe feelings and the body, feelings, the mind, and all mental phenomena. These are the 4 foundations of mindfulness, for example. That there's various categories of things that we can observe. And when practicing Vipassana, it always has to go hand in hand with Samatha. Samatha is calm abiding. That is the concentrative portion of meditation, the stilling portion of meditation. So when you're practicing breathing meditation, you're stilling the mind. What that means is you're stilling your attention. You're putting your attention onto one place. And as you do that, everything else slides away into the background. If your attention, for example, dwells just with the breath, sight, sound, smell, taste, and so on, they fade away in the background. They become less intrusive as time goes by, as your meditation, as your mindfulness strengthens. Then you have that effect that you have from some of the on some photos. You can see that bokeh, right? You have an object in the foreground, and then there's the background, and the background is blurred out. The same goes for the mind. So here the breath is in the foreground, everything else goes away into the background. Here the object of your meditation is not all that important. It could be the breath, it could be a visualized disk of light, or it could even be some sort of mantra or something like that. Something to help your mind to anchor itself with, to stabilize itself with. The real point is that the attention becomes stable by putting it on an object. It's not so much about the object, it's about stabilizing your attention, stabilizing that knowing quality of the mind, the observer. When your observer is sufficiently stabilized, then he becomes capable of seeing things as they are. If your observer is constantly caught up with everything that's passing by, it's unstable, then you cannot see the way things are. Maybe to compare that with an image, if you are drifting away in a river, then there's a bunch of stuff around you, maybe other drifters, other people, other things, and then you don't see their movement because you're moving along with them. Does that make sense? Okay.
Someone drifting next to you, they look still to you because you're drifting in the same speed. So if your attention gets caught up with a thought or with an emotion or something like that, it drifts with the same speed. It is attached to that thought, to that emotion. And that attachment makes it quite impossible to see what you're attached to clearly for what it is. In order to see it very clearly, you have to step out of the river, you have to sit down by the shore, and then you can see things as they drift by, and you understand yourself to be non-drifting. It's a crucial observation to make when you practice Vipassana, and you can only do that properly when you are not moving. When you are not moving with objects, then you can see objects move. And when you can see objects move, then you understand yourself to be not tied up with those objects, not bound up with those objects, not imprisoned in those objects. You then even understand, those are actually objects, those are not the subject. Let's take an example with thinking. Your mind might be thinking about a whole lot of things every day in, day out. You think all kinds of stories up in your mind about yourself, about the world. When a thought arises, it feels very much like you are the one thinking, doesn't it? It feels like it's you talking up there in your head. So the thinking here feels subjective. This is me talking. I'm producing those words. But that's actually not accurate. But we cannot see that because we are moving with our thoughts. We are identified with them, attached to them. Now, if your mind becomes very stable due to Samatha meditation, you have a greater degree of samadhi, of mental calm, then what happens with you is you stop moving so you can see much more clearly that things move past you. Like, for example, a thought. A thought arises and then it passes. A sensation arises and passes. A sound arises and passes. But you don't arise and pass with it. Seeing that gap, seeing that difference, you see much more clearly, this is not a subject. This is actually an object. My thoughts are over there. They are a voice in my head. I'm not the speaker. Seeing that very clearly is liberating. Seeing very clearly that you are not your thoughts is very easeful. It immediately flushes out a whole lot of suffering out of your system, a whole lot of stress, also a whole lot of confusion. Usually we look at the world through the lens of our thoughts. I look at people through the lens of my thoughts, and I think people are like this and that, when in reality I do not see that there is thinking. That would be more accurate. Instead, I think, this person is great, this person is stupid. I don't see that there is thinking. In the same way, I don't see that there is a body. I think it's me. There is a psyche, there is an emotion. No, I am emotional. I am in the room. So there's a difference between seeing that there is an object or I am something. It is Vipassana that allows you to see clearly into the way things are. That's the purpose of it. The purpose of it is to allow you to see the way things are and therefore be liberated by your clear seeing. When you understand something clearly, suffering ends. Just like a dreamer that understands that he is dreaming. That is liberating. You immediately have freedom. Whereas before, you were totally controlled by the dream. The dream was in charge. What happens to you? What happens to the dream? Well, it's just dependent on the law of causality. There is a cause, there's a result, and so forth. But if you clearly see that you're dreaming, that the objects that you're perceiving are dream objects, that the subject is a dream subject, that there is no actual truth to it, it is liberating, isn't it? You now have freedom. You're not caught up within the dream. So no matter what happens, you're fine. You're not at risk anymore. So all fear goes away. Instantly. But right now, for most of us, we are living based on hope and fear. We are concerned, just like life being a dream. We are concerned about life. We are worried about things. Why? Because we're fragile. We can easily be hurt. It doesn't take much for us to suffer. We're easily broken. Or are you different? Are you incapable of suffering? Or are you capable of suffering? You be the judge. I don't know you, but you know you. You know whether you're capable of suffering or not. If you're capable of suffering, there is a problem. How can you then lead a relaxed life? How can you be truly happy if that's always weighing on the back of your mind? I'm capable of suffering. I could suffer. Now, why are we capable of suffering? How come? Because we attach ourselves to things that do not last. And we treat them as if they should last. Like I'm holding on to a floating, I don't know, piece of wood or something to keep me above the water. But the problem is, I'm still in the river. I'm still subject to the river. It doesn't matter that I have a floating piece of wood. There's a waterfall ahead. This is the problem of life. We can hurt. We can suffer. All of your fears summarized. Whatever you're afraid of, you're actually just only afraid of one thing. You're afraid of suffering. And we try to deal with it. We try to cope with it. We try to manage it. And how's it going? How's your technique working out for you? Are you already incapable of suffering? Or are you still capable of suffering? It doesn't matter how much you arrange matter around you, or how much you arrange people around you, or how much you would even arrange your thoughts in your own mind. It doesn't matter. You're just arranging objects, things, stuff. If you adjust your posture while sitting, trying to escape the pain, you're just shifting pain around. You're not actually solving it. Vipassana is there to solve that problem of suffering. We can only solve that through clearly seeing the truth, the reality of our experiences. And it's often given as a kind of a formula. You can look at objects and experiences in terms of the three characteristics. For example, 1, everything is impermanent. No matter what you're looking at, whether it's a sensation or a thought or a sound, an emotion, whatever, you can directly witness moment by moment it changes. It is not stable. Just like the surface of a lake. There's never any rest in there. It's always moving. Like a cloud as well. A cloud is constantly shape-shifting, always moving. Thoughts are like that. Feeling is like that. Sound is like that. Smell is like that. Taste is like that. Sight is like that. Visual objects. Your attention is like that too. It's constantly moving around. It doesn't stay on one place. Even if you wanted it to, it doesn't. Let's say you have some back pain while you're sitting in meditation. Now you can look at that directly and clearly understand it for what it is. First of all, it is not pain. It is a sensation. It is energy that moves. It moves in a very specific way. It is not still. Then your attention also is not stable. The way you look at that area of pain, your attention is browsing through it. It's going from left to right, back, forward, and so on. It's not actually still. If you see that clearly with a very calm mind, it resolves the problem. The suffering gradually seeps out of the equation. There's no more stress about it. And as the stress leaves the sensation, you're left with just a sensation. But all the drama, the pain, the difficulty surrounding that sensation has left. And it's often replaced with comfort, strangely enough. That's how it goes. You just look at a painful sensation. If you look deeply, you understand it clearly for what it actually is. Then it's like waking up in a dream, understanding that you're dreaming. It's very similar. Second observation, the second characteristic is that since all things are subject to change, they are unsatisfying. They're not satisfying. They're actually of the nature of suffering. So everything is a bit like a hot stove. As soon as you touch it, you get burnt. Some stoves, they're just about to heat up. So if you touch them, they're nice and cool. So you feel nice. You get onto the stove. You sit down on it. But it gradually heats up. Right? Your posture is like this. For example, if you sit in meditation and then you feel some pain in your leg and then you change your leg. Now that's nice. Does it stay nice though? No, the pain just keeps reappearing somewhere else. Maybe same spot. Doesn't matter how many times you change, we're just hopping from stove to stove. That's all we do in life. Is jumping around on an infinite field of stoves. And it just keeps getting hot. It doesn't matter what you do. You think marriage is going to solve all of your problems? So you get married. Beautiful festival, everything wonderful and nice. Then, a couple months down the road, a couple of years down the road, that stove too has turned hot. It's now uncomfortable. Maybe now you're looking for the divorce. Now once you have the divorce, I just jump to the next stove and it slowly heats up again. And you feel lonely and you feel unhappy just being by yourself. So you're looking for partnership again. It's just endless. Same goes with food, with showering. It doesn't matter how many times you shower, you just keep getting dirty. Such is the nature of life. It's not that you need to just find the ultimate shower and then all your problems will be solved and you ride off into the sunset fresh and clean. It's not going to be like that. Unless you see very, very clearly that all those things are unsatisfying, that they're all of the nature of suffering, and so you abandon them, you let go of the world. The world is nothing but sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, and thought. That's all it is. Are you experiencing anything besides those six? Just a little check. Is there anything outside of those six experiences that you're having? It's just those six, right? This is my personal favorite, actually, as a subject of contemplation. Just notice that all I'm ever experiencing are those six. And so what are they like? Well, they are temporary, impermanent, unstable, the nature of flux, a constant process, movement of energy, like smoke, like a river, like clouds in the sky, like wind. Just like that. No, there's no stability at all whatsoever. And therefore, the Buddha asks, is it then satisfying or unsatisfying then? Is it easeful or stressful? Is what is impermanent easeful or stressful? That's what he asks. What would your answer be? If I attach to something that is impermanent, will it lead to ease or will it lead to stress? Stress, obviously. Doesn't take any genius to see that clearly. It just takes honest observation of yourself. And you see that so far in life, you've done a lot. You've thought a lot. You worried a lot. You hoped a lot. And? Still subject to stress, or are you already at ease? Maybe you're at ease today. It's Christmas, and so on, and okay, I'm at ease. There's good food, friends. I'm on a holiday, it's Phuket Island, I'm at ease. Now, what about that ease? Will it last? Or is it just another stove that will turn hot soon? Oh, the last day of a holiday, I need to go back to the UK or to the US, and it's cold and rainy over there. And some people start worrying about their departure a week ahead of their departure already, you know. If you think about, they're already mentally departing. Their suffering begins very early already. So are you just comfortable right now, or are you actually at peace? There's a big difference. If you're actually at peace, then it doesn't matter to you anymore what's happening, where you are, or who you're with. At all. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make a difference. You're happy. That means you're incapable of suffering. You're not enslaved to your experiences anymore. You're not addicted to them, trying to solve your problems by chasing after experiences. And the Buddha goes on to ask the question, is what is stressful worthy of being attached to as me or mine? Should we regard it as me or mine, what is stressful? Is it worthy of that? Again, obviously not. Why would I attach to something that gives me pain? The answer to that is just because I'm ignorant. I don't know it. Just like a dreamer that doesn't know he's dreaming. He's attaching to the dream experiences. Because he doesn't know their reality, their truth. There's no clear seeing there. So in an unconscious state, we are in pursuit of objects that are supposed to fill this black hole of craving, of desire. And it just keeps us in a perpetual state of pursuit. Never an arrival. You never feel like you have truly arrived. You always feel like you're getting somewhere, you're going somewhere. That's the nature of craving. It's the mind that is restless, that is suffering. It feels incomplete, not here yet. Those are the three characteristics. 1, everything is impermanent. 2, therefore, it is unsatisfying, or dukkha, suffering, hard to bear. And 3rd, it is not me and not mine. There is thinking, there is a body, there is a mind, but it's completely impersonal. What's your body made of? What would you say? What is it made of? Steel?
Meat.
Meat, okay. What's meat made of? What's that made of?
Similar lasting cells.
Cells, what are they made of?
Atoms.
Atoms.
Energy.
Energy. Okay, let's just boil it down to the bottom of it, right? Atoms or energy. Let's go with atoms. I understand too little about atoms and being energy, and I don't know about it. So let's just stick with atoms. Would you ever go, if you could see a single atom there in front of you, would you ever say, this belongs to me? This is mine? No? Yes? No. Would it be the truth? Even, let's take out the atom here from my arm, put it right there. That's me, that's mine. Is that true? That's not true, right? So if it's 10 atoms, or 10,000, or 10 billion, or trillion, or how many atoms there are, is there any atom among that heap of atoms that could rightfully be considered to belong to me? No. No, right? And yet we have that feeling that the body is something that belongs to me. It's my body. Or, I am that. I am this body. The perception that I am here, you are there. That clearly indicates I feel that I am the body. I'm a man. I'm 40 years old, right? That also refers to the body. Meaning I feel that I am this body. What are you? Are you looking at me? Taking pictures of myself, right? Selfie. What we actually take a picture of is the body. It's not yourself. It is a bunch of atoms. And then you post them on Instagram and you get celebrated for it. Here are my atoms. And some people think they're good atoms. And then you feel like, they like me. It's being identified with the body. Yes? There's a whole lot of drama going on concerning being identified with the body. A lot of drama. Take war, for example. The threat to kill someone. Actually, it means to blast apart a bunch of atoms. But since we're so identified with those atoms, this is terrifying to us. The threat to be killed. Like a dreamer that doesn't know he's dreaming, being threatened by someone else in the dream. I'm going to kill you. As soon as that dreamer would know that he isn't actually the content of the dream, but he is the container of it, maybe, and then there is no more worries. If you come as a wave, you can be broken, right? If you understand yourself to be the ocean, much harder to break you. If you're identified with a single aspect of experience, like that little heap of atoms, then you are suffering that heap of atoms. When you're sick, then you say, I am sick. You wouldn't say, the body is sick. It's I am. I'm not feeling well. And so on and so forth. Then there's the mind, the psyche, your thoughts, your emotions, all that internal stuff, your intention, volition. You can be identified with that too. I'm a liberal. I'm a conservative. I'm a German. That's a mental fabrication. I'm German. There is no Germanness within the world of atoms. Yeah? There's no German atoms. But there is certainly a German idea, like I am German. And so I can get attached to that idea. These attachments go incredibly deep. They form societies and then borders and so on and so forth. Wars. The Germans against the Russians or something like that. Then you have your war. You have a split up idea. Those are the good people No, sorry. We are the good people. Those are the bad people. Usually never happens in reverse. And we're the bad people. Those are the good people. Yeah? Yes. We're accepting the bombs because we're so bad. It doesn't happen in this world, yes? Nobody is accepting any bombs because everyone feels they are good. I'm on the good side. I have those good thoughts. I have this good identification. All that is mental stuff. It's the attachment to ideas, conceptions. And if you're not seeing that, you're literally dreaming so much into existence that actually isn't real, that doesn't happen. Tell me about yourself. Tell me about yourself.
I'm nervous about what I'm going to say.
Okay.
I'm feeling... I still can't think of something to say. It's hard to kind of say something about myself. I kind of want to say what I feel right now.
Okay.
But yeah, I could maybe say I'm Chinese, 29 years old. I live in Phuket. I'm English, but I could be Chinese.
Okay.
It's quite hard.
So there's the usual answer that we get, right? Tell me about yourself. So I'm Tobi, I'm 40, and I'm Chinese, I'm doing a job, or whatever, like people talk about their jobs, what they do, who they're with, I'm married, stuff like that, right? All of that is not the reality at all. It's conventions, ideas that we have. Another question. Tell me about your life.
Well, I feel like it just got a lot easier because you said it doesn't matter if you shower because you're just going to get dirty again. So, my life just got, a whole weight lifted off of it. Because,
Fantastic.
Now I know at least that doesn't matter. One less thing to worry about.
Okay, I see. Yes. Well, do you see, even though jokingly, you tell me something, you tell me some ideas about showering and so forth. Are you in a shower right now?
Ooh, it does not appear to be that I am.
Right, okay. I don't want to gaslight you as well. So
I'm going to go with no. This is not a shower.
you're not in a shower, okay. So, okay. You're not in a shower right now. You're in a room right now. You're seated right now. Okay. Usually, if you ask someone, tell me about your life, they branch out into a story of what they did or what they plan to do and so on. As if life wasn't the thing that is happening right now. As if life was some sort of abstract thing in our heads. Life, there is only one place where it happens, and it's here. There's only one time in which it happens, it's now. And what is it? Simply just that: sound, sight, smell, taste, touch, and thought. But it's unseen. We don't see that. Tell me about life. You could also answer hearing, feeling, seeing, feeling, seeing, hearing, seeing, hearing, feeling. A direct, immediate, moment-to-moment description of what appears to awareness, plus the awareness to which it appears. Just those two things, energy and consciousness. Just that. That is life. The interplay between energy and consciousness is just that. But it doesn't appear like this to us. We're so lost and identified in our world of thought that we see life through that kind of dream of our conceptions. Vipassana is supposed to look through that, to help you see very clearly, thinking, there is thinking. It arises, it passes. Not I am thinking that this and that happens, but there is thinking, it arises and passes. That is a form of liberation. If you go deeper and deeper into that looking, everything that appears to awareness, namely those 6 things, will reveal themselves as transient, as dreamlike, and it stops burdening you. You're not burdened by your own experiences of life anymore. The conflict between me and life ends as a result of it. Proper practice. Now, Vipassana should never be regarded as something that stands apart. What are you doing? I'm doing Vipassana practice. It always comes together in a package with Samatha, stabilizing the mind, calming the mind. Your Vipassana, your insight, your direct, clear seeing of the way things are is only as good as your mind is stable. Your stability is only as good as your insight allows it to become. So they go hand in hand, they complement one another, like my teacher always said, like 2 wings of a bird. The bird can only take off and fly if it has 2 wings. The right wing is Vipassana, left wing, Samatha. Like that you can fly. Only 1 wing, forget it. So in Thai forest tradition, they would refer to the path or the cultivation, they call it just cultivation, bhavana. And that incorporates both Samatha Vipassana. Not only that, but also sila, morality, our actions, our behaviors. And then you have the 2 facets of meditation practice, spiritual insight and calming. That's that. Simple as that. So this is how I look at Vipassana. It's the clear seeing of the way things are. Looking through appearances very, very clearly. Or understanding yourself on the deepest possible level. And I'm not talking about the psychological made-up type of self, but your center, your core, the Buddha mind. Okay? Well, all right then. In this sense, I wish you all a Merry Christmas. And enjoy your days with family and friends. And practice well, so you have something to share with them. And thank you very much for coming today. Have a good time. We hope you enjoyed this episode and had a meaningful time. For more information and upcoming events, head over to our website at phuket-meditation.com. Thank you very much for listening and have a wonderful day.